And we are taking Andromeda up to Frankfurt, about 40 nautical miles north. On our 2 or 3 hour run from Ludington north up to Frankfurt yesterday, literally right at the pier heads, the RPMs dropped down on the starboard engine and we just had half power. It wouldn't go up, the RPMs wouldn't go up. There's no alarms, there's no temperatures, there's no sensors, no nothing other than we noticed the loss of power. I'm guessing after a nice 2 hour run, it's been about 8 engine hours since we put that new filter on, that it's probably loaded up. So I'm here in Frankfurt. I'm going to go down the engine room, pull that air filter off, go through the cleaning procedures, see if I can't get the soot and stuff out of it, hoping that's the problem, and see what else I can see. And if that's all it is a loaded up air filter, I'll clean it, put it back on, and it should be enough to get us home. Where at the dock at home I'll clean it again or replace it before we make the run down south to Grand Haven to put the boat away for the winter. So about to get down in the engine room and see if we can't solve the problem. Well, the first thing I can see down here in this engine room is that it is absolutely covered with exhaust soot. You can see, I don't know if the film's picking it up great, but the ceiling is black. It's very dimly lit, which leads me to believe that the lights are covered. And unfortunately, that means that the exhaust leak is just getting worse and worse. We thought we had a little more time than we did on it. So all I can think to do right now is I'm probably going to clean both air filters since there's so much exhaust going around this engine room, and hope for the best getting her home tomorrow, and then hope for the best getting her down to Grand Haven to get the service done. So the first thing I'm noticing is this area here has way more soot, heavy soot built up on it than it normally does. Now there's always a certain amount of soot there from what used to be a small exhaust leak, but I can see now it's coming out pretty heavy. It looks to be maybe right there at the turbo connection. Again, that's best case scenario is a turbo gasket. Hopefully it's not the manifolds. As I look back further in, let me come around here. As I look back further in, you can see that the fins on the air filter have started to collapse again, which means that they're plugged and the engine is actually trying to suck the air filter back into the engine. It's just not getting enough air. So we're going to take that off, see if we can't repair it, and at least give Andromeda enough fresh air to get back home. Here's a little look at just how much is building up on the ceiling. I mean, that's pretty bad. It's we keep our engine room pretty clean, and to have that kind of buildup in such a short period of time, it's just getting bad. What's really strange is when we peek our head down in here in the engine room, we see nothing. There's no smoke. The engines run fine. They sound great. And so it was a little misleading, I guess, yesterday, that when we did our engine checks, we're just not seeing anything come out of that engine. It's only, I guess, after running it for a while that it has a chance to build up, or it builds up so slowly that we don't notice it visually. You can see that it's worse than we thought. It was so clogged that it tried to suck the air filter in on itself, and it was so clogged right here that it actually blew the filter out, tried to suck it in and rip the side. So unfortunately we won't be able to clean this one. This one is toast, and we might be stuck here in Frankfurt now till we find a new filter. I do think the old filter that I had on there is somewhere on board. I'm going to dig around. Maybe I can clean that one up just enough to get us home, but man, this is, you can see my hand, this exhaust leak is turning out to be a little more than we thought. So not great news at all. Well, that's it. We have talked to a few different people. I've talked to Ed and some of my other buddies to know their way around the engine room, and looks like tomorrow morning we will probably limp home on one engine. I may fire the starboard engine without a filter around the dock just so we can maneuver, but here is a straight shot out, so I think we can put it in reverse and use the thruster and just get straight out. We'll go home under one engine, not run the starboard engine, get home. I've ordered a couple new air filters, get those put on, and then we'll take the boat. It's about a 60-mile run from Ludington down to Grand Haven to get her out of the water and start getting the service done. So it's the way it goes, but we're here in Frankfurt. I'm here with the family, so we're going to try and enjoy the rest of today and tomorrow morning and not think about boat projects and just enjoy the time we have together. So it is absolutely beautiful September day here in Frankfurt, and we are enjoying our time. Both daughters are here. Friends of ours live here, and we've just been able to see a lot of nice people, talk to nice people. We have friends from Ludington who are actually just ironically spending the weekend here, and it's just been real nice. But the engine issue is a thing. It's kind of putting a cloud on it. I think as the day goes on, we're coming up with some better ideas of planning, and it's just rough. You went down and looked at the engine room.
Yeah, quickly, and I need to go down and look further, but it's, like Bob says, it looks like the lights are out down there when you look in, and I think because there's a film on all, even the lights.
We've talked about it before, but we like to keep our engine room as clean as possible, and for a lot of reasons. One, just what way we prefer to have the boat, but we like to keep it bright and well lit and clean just for this reason. If something happens, we can immediately notice where the leak is coming from or whatever. But this happened, I don't want to say catastrophically, but so strong in such a short period of time. And again, with the engine door open and the engine's running, looking down in there, there's no smoke, there's no soot coming out of the engine. You would not know anything's wrong, other than when you go back down in the engine room 2 hours later, it's just covered in soot. So I don't know, we're debating on whether we need to clean it or just get the repairs done and clean it. We like it as clean as we can if people are coming to work on it. I prefer to work in a clean environment. I'm sure they would. So,
but we still got to get her home, so it's like we can't clean it now, and then
it's just gonna
have to do it all again. So we're just kind of like, I think just got to get her home. Yeah. And then
we're only 45 nautical miles north of home. It's not that big deal. We will get her home. We're in a stretch of really nice September weather here. The next 5 days, the wave report on Lake Michigan is like a foot or less, which is unheard of. So we'll get her home. That's where all our tools are and our contacts and our cars and everything else we need. So we're gonna, sounds like we're gonna have a really great barbecue tonight with some friends here in Frankfurt, and we're looking forward to that, and we'll just go from there. Getting close to 7 or 7:30 a.m. on Sunday here in Frankfurt, and I believe we are watching the start of the Ironman triathlon. So it's kind of hard to see, but there's some buoys here, heavy police presence, of course keeping the boats away, but pretty soon we'll hear the starting whistle and the racers will run out and swim around those buoys and back to shore before they hop on their bikes for 60 miles or something, and then a little swimming. So good for them. Wish them all luck. This morning, it is exactly 3.5 months since crossing our wake and completing our great loop. We have spent the last 3.5 months holding on to the crazy notion that we would once again cast the lines this fall and head south to start our second extended great loop. It is now mid-September. In northern Michigan, the seasons change quickly. We would need to leave in a few short weeks to get off Lake Michigan and into the river system by the end of October at the latest. This trip to Frankfurt to spend time with family and friends was also a test run to see if Andromeda's exhaust leak would hold long enough to get us south to the Gulf, where we could get her repaired in warmer climate conditions and be able to continue on to the islands for the winter. It has been a hard decision for us. We were not exactly sure if we should leave or not. Now we know. Sometimes the writing is on the wall and the decisions are made for you. We now know we will be in Michigan for the winter, and Andromeda will once again be on the hard and under repair.
Good morning. We're just getting ready to leave Frankfurt. We had a great morning with our friends from Frankfurt. Came and had coffee. We were watching the start of the Ironman.
We can see the Ironman right behind us here on the course. It's kind of neat to watch.
Yeah, the swimming section was first, so we got to hear the national anthem this morning and all the hoopla, cannons going off to start the races. It was cool.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah, and then they bike and then they run. So we're going to be gone for that, but we're just getting the boat buttoned down and getting ready to head out.
So we went down in the engine room. I've checked all the fluids. Everything seems to be good. I do not have an air filter cartridge for the starboard engine, so I think right now the plan is we are going to fire the starboard engine up just to hear how it sounds and see what the numbers read, and maybe use that just to slide us back out of the slip. It's a straight shot out, so if anything seems weird, we're going to bail on the starboard engine and just back out with one. But I do want to start it to just see what's kind of going on. I want to peek my head down in the engine room and see if now we can see exhaust blowing all over, but as per usual, there's no exhaust on the side of the boat. There's no exhaust that we can see. It's just after a few hours, all of a sudden it builds up really bad. So we're about ready to fire up and make the slow roll home. Well, good news is the starboard engine is running and actually sounds pretty good. There's no air filter on it, and we thought it was going to be a little worse. So step one, good. So we used both engines to back out and turn, and that seemed to be okay. It was that low idle. Kathy kind of kept us bounced off the dock. We seemed to scoop right out and turn, but I was only, once we were away from the dock, I tried steering with the one engine, and she's real limited, obviously, on mobility. So right now, I am getting ready to kill the starboard engine. So we're just running with one engine right now. We're gonna make a hard turn to port and set her on Big Point Sable, and hopefully the autopilot and Andromeda does her thing. We're about halfway between Frankfurt and Big Point Sable. That is sort of our first target before we change direction. The port engine's running about 1600 RPMs. I just switched over the fuel tank to sort of balance them out a little bit. And luckily we're having really smooth sea conditions. It's a beautiful, warm, sunny day. So we've been chatting and watching some YouTube videos, and now we're about to have a little lunch. So it's really been nice. Just got a sort of a underlying feeling of knowing that there's problems with Andromeda, and that's sort of hard for me to deal with, but I'm trying to take in what's happening around us and enjoy the moment a little bit, and not worry so much about that. So we've got about an hour till we get to the big point, then we'll make our approach into Ludington, and we're trying to line up some friends to maybe help catch us at the dock. Should be fine, but you just never know. These are Loopers YOLO, and they just sent us a picture of Andromeda, which is super nice. How's the Lions game working out?
We got to watch the first quarter, and then it just stopped because our free service was done, even though we paid for YouTube TV. Apparently, it wasn't showing we're in the Chicago area until the lake. So
For some reason, our streaming app thinks we're 20 miles offshore, even though we're probably, what, 2 miles walking distance from our house?
right, we're right at the point, so we should be able to get it. You're saying we might be able to go down to the local TV downstairs. It'll probably pick it up, but we're up at the bridge, so.
The Lions.
Yeah.
Coming around Big Point Sable, just to kind of make the turn around the point to start making our way home. It's been just an absolutely beautiful day to cruise. The port engine has been keeping us going at about 10 knots, so we're not making great time, but whatever. It's just gorgeous out here, and it's September, and there's not many days like this left, so we'll take it. started the starboard engine. She started right up. Sounds good. It's we're coming in with both engines at low idle. Again, just to use it for the extra thrust around the dock. Hopefully make docking a little easier and a little safer. So we are in the channel, heading to our marina, and we do have both engines running. We hope she stays running, at least till we can get her docked. Well, home sweet home. We got her into the dock, no problem. The boat next to us, what was their names?
YOLO.
YOLO, fellow loopers here in Ludington. They ran out and gave us a hand, and actually there's no wind and we kind of were able to coast right in. So we're home, we're tied up, and tomorrow starts the process of ordering some filters and getting things scheduled to get ready to move Andromeda down to Grand Haven. That's where she'll go on the hard for the winter and get this problem solved once and for all. But overall, we had a pretty good weekend with the family up in Frankfurt. It's a great place to visit if you're in the area, and we are home safe now and on to the repairs.
Yep, repairs and unloading.